welcome everybody. My name is Tommy Gilmore with Noisy Bird Digital Marketing, and you are watching another edition of Spotlight Southern Utah. I'm joined here today with Newby from Newby's Pest Control.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I'm happy that you're doing this, honestly, because this is kind of a cool, unique thing that I get to do, and hopefully it's educational for everybody involved. So
I think it will be. I'm really excited because Cash owns Newby's Pest Control, like I said, but we're going to hear about how he went from starting out as just a technician to going into becoming the owner and sort of what that process and that journey's been like. So I'm excited to hear that sort of unique perspective.
Sure.
As you guys know, Spotlight Southern Utah, we talk to a different business owner all the time, and we love just talking about businesses and the things that make Southern Utah great. So Cash, why don't you tell people a little bit about sort of that journey that you went through, how you got started in the pest control business and how you went from, just a technician, I guess, all the way to now you own the business.
Yeah, so back in 2015, I just got off a mission. I started going to college. I got married, and I was going to college actually to go into law enforcement. And during the summer I needed a job, right? So when you need a job, you look around, and Tom kind of reached out to me and said, hey, you should come and be a technician for me. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. He gave me a good job, and I came in and I started teching for him, and I actually helped. At that time it was called Big Tom's Pest Control, and I actually helped him grow the business that first year. Just as me being on as a tech, and it was him as a tech, and then we had one office lady. That's how it was. That's how small it was, yeah. And for me, I was just able to do a good service, talk to people, make them feel like I was listening to their needs and what they wanted done. I kind of brought up some ideas to Tom of like, hey, if you did this, it would kind of bring in a little more revenue. People like that, And he liked it, and he used it, and we started growing it a little bit. And the next year I said, well, all right, I'm done. I'm going to go off to college now, and he came to me about a week into college, and he says, hey, you should come on board with me. You should become a partner with this, and let's, grow this thing. And honestly, I had a couple offers from a couple businesses that wanted me to go and do things with them. And I thought about it. It was pretty big decision for me because I knew what I was getting into, because all of my family are doctors, accountants. They went to college. They're computer scientists. They're the hot dog is the hot dogs. Okay, so me, I was conflicted by that because my father was a principal, so schooling was a big deal. But I decided to just go for it. And so I said, yeah, let's do it. And I got in 2016, we doubled the business. In 2017, we doubled it again. In 2018, we doubled it again. And then 2019, we 33%ed it and 33%ed on from there. It's really hard to keep doubling.
You reach a certain point.
You reach a certain point. You only have so much demographic that you can sell to and grow with. And by the time that was going, I just knew that we had something really good. We had a niche. I knew a lot of things about people. Really, this life is about connections. And if you're good at connecting with people...
Yeah, and really, in my experience, that's what business is about, right?
Yeah.
You need to have a good product, you need to have a good business behind it, but, I mean, especially nowadays, I think we as people, we've been so over-advertised to, so oversold, like, it feels really scummy a lot of times.
Yeah.
But if you build a genuine connection and you say, look, like, I know you want to do this, I really think this other thing is in your best interest. Like even if it costs me less money or whatever,
honestly,
I'm going to tell you this is what's better for you.
Sure.
And if you have that relationship, man, your business just takes off with it.
Well, and if you really think about it, so like for us, we don't do contracts.
Okay.
I've never done it. And the number one reason is if you want to get rid of us, you should be able to.
Yeah.
Right? Like the only reason you should stay with us is if we do a great job for you.
Yeah.
So every single service, and this is what we teach the techs too, or office people, every single service, you have to do your best. You have to do better than what the guy did before you. And that's how we grew it. It was a lot by word of mouth. It's not a ton by me pouring into advertisements.
Yeah.
It is a word of mouth, honestly. And it's because of those connections and because no contracts. And that feels like a nice, good thing for the customer. So I really like that.
That's awesome. So I mean, I really like, especially when you're talking about you as the tech, you're expected to do a better job than the last guy, right? Like, even though he's in our team, he's on our company, like, a little bit of friendly competition and creating, hey, we did a 5-star service last time, how do we give them an even better one this time? Yeah. I love that. Something else that you mentioned that I thought was really interesting is, I mean, you're going off to college. I'd imagine you're in your early 20s at this point, right?
Yeah.
And you have a few business opportunities.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make, I mean, it sounds like some pretty big life decisions. Maybe piss off mom and dad a little bit, and you know, you're making these. What does that process look like in your mind? Because I'm sure people watching have. Maybe they have a big opportunity. Maybe they're looking to sell, or go to a full-time job, stop doing business, start a new business, things like that. What does that sort of mental process look like for you?
Well, for me, I trust my gut a lot of the times. If my gut says, hey, this is the right thing to do, then I confirm it with the wife, honestly. People don't do that. I really lean heavily on my wife because she has a good set mind, and it's very based. She's just got a good head on her shoulders, and so like if I'm just mulling things over in my head, I'm like, okay, I got to get it out, and I go and I talk to her, and she either confirms, hey, yeah, you should. She's very supportive that way, or a lot of times she'd be like, don't do that. Please don't do that. And I go, oh, okay, it's probably a bad thing. So then I stay far from it, So for me, it was mulling it over in my head, weighing the options, and then I hate being capped. And a lot of the other ones I could see, okay, that could be a cap, that could be a cap. This one could not be. And I've always felt good when I was getting into this. And I always... And I knew the business already. That gave me a leg on it. And quite honestly, I knew that I would be good at it. And I says, these other ones, I would have to learn a whole new thing. This one I could just hop right into. And that's what made the decision for me.
That's awesome. And obviously, I'm sure that process, especially the last year in becoming the owner and all of that, I'm sure it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows.
No. Business
rarely is.
Nope. I definitely look older than what I am just because of business. Things are gonna not go your way, and you just gotta keep going. Keep moving forward. There's that. What's that movie on Disney where it says keep moving forward? I think is whatever. You know the one I'm talking. Meet the Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons. Yeah.
Love that movie because ever since I watched it, that's like my motto before then, and it was my motto then, and it still is to now. It's just keep moving forward. You're gonna have bad things happen. You're gonna have employees quit at the wrong time. You're gonna have too many people at the wrong time. You're gonna have financial issues. There's a lot of things that you got to power through. You've got to be committed. If you're going to do something, you have to be committed. And the one thing I contribute to that too is my genes. We don't really have the quit button. My mother, who is the hardest working person I know in my whole life, she could outwork anybody. And I feel like I work pretty hard. Sun up to sundown, even into the AMs. That woman would outwork me easily. And she should be. She calls it retired right now. Instead of working 6 days a week, she's working 5 now. So that's her retirement, and I'm like, holy cow, So really, she doesn't have that option to quit, and I really like that about her, and I love that about her, and I try to become like that, and so that helps out.
I mean, it sounds like I want to be like your mom when I grow up too. That sounds great. It's been good. She did a really good job. She had 6 boys. My father actually passed away pretty early in my life when I was like 5, and she had to raise us and teach us the way, and she wasn't home some of the times. That's what helped me build connections. I was able to build connections at a young age, and a lot of people raised me in town. I grew up in a small town of Circleville, and it's just one of those things where you learn that, and it was just meant to be in life, because look where I'm at now. So no, that's great. I love the idea of you don't say quit. you're just in it for the long haul, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And so can you give an example of like a specific time that kind of came in handy for you? What, you talk about employees quitting or did something pop into your head immediately of, man, I'm glad I didn't quit when this happened?
So, I even now I still have a ton of people coming to me about different things, different ideas that I should go and do and stuff like that. And one time in 2018, we had just some trouble. It started to turn a little bit wrong, and we didn't double. It was the first time we didn't double.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we didn't double, and we put even more out there.
Mm-hmm.
You put a lot out there, and then you don't double. You're thinking something's wrong, right?
Yeah.
There for a hot minute, things were kind of shaky. We had the same thing happen when COVID hit. Things got a little shaky then. And honestly, just don't stop. Like, oh, well, where's the next? It doesn't matter. Just keep going. Just do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. And that's what I did, and I got past it. And I'm very lucky, again, to have that gene of my mother's to just not quit.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think it's super important because I've talked to several other entrepreneurs about this, but when you go into business, there are going to be like the highest highs. You look at that number and you're like, man, we doubled this last year, like year over year, it's 150% or 2,000% or whatever that number is, and you're stoked. And then 2 days later, a customer calls and chews you out and tells you the worst, and you feel it, like it. And it's crazy how you just ride these waves and things like that. And I think, it's so easy to look at it and say it's not worth it or I want to quit or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you just have to have that in you to say, no matter what, I'm seeing this through to whatever the end is, whatever my end goal is. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely got to be able to withstand people telling you you're in the wrong too. I mean, you've got the government who doesn't want you to succeed, you got people who don't want you to succeed, you probably got even family members who don't want to see you succeed, and that's the hard part.
Yeah.
So don't be leaning on those people. Again, I lean on my wife quite a bit because I know she wants the best for me, and so that's who I really go to. And then if things get real bad, I call up mom and she just tells me get back to work. And so really at the end of the day, don't rely on others to push you into what you need to be doing. You got to rely on yourself, and I really think if people did that more often in this life, we'd have a lot less mental health issues because they're relying on a lot of people, and people will let you down countless times.
Yeah.
But you won't let yourself down if you try to work on that.
Yeah.
And I think that would help a lot of people out in this life.
Yeah, I've heard that true confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, that's something that's been important for you and your business is, hey, I said I'm going to do this, things got hard, and I did it, and look at what happened, I came out on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So I can be confident the next time I got to face something hard.
Yep. No, 1,000%.
That's awesome. Well, we've gone through lots of good stuff. I appreciate your time. I want to be sensitive to it, but, you've been a part owner for a while, and now you've been kind of the primary owner. Is there anything you didn't learn through that process of kind of co-owning it that now you kind of had to learn the hard way in just being like kind of the guy that is the decision maker?
No, because there for a while, Tom was getting a little bit older, and so he was wanting to do other things, see other things, so I was kind of controlling a lot of things. I think the biggest thing that I learn now, because when you have a partnership, there's someone else that's going through it with you.
Yeah.
But now when it's just solely you, you're the only one, right? And again, there's the wife and all that, but they kind of don't understand the full aspect of it. I mean, they understand probably 90%, but there's that 10% that it's just you.
Yep.
No one else knows.
Yeah.
And I would say, for me, it is definitely something that you have to just keep rolling with, just keep going. So.
Yeah. No, I love that. I mean, in another chat that I talked with the owner of Zip Kit Homes, the word that kept coming up was tenacity, right? It's just that you don't say die, things are tough, and we get through them. Yeah. So I like that it just feels like a common theme in my last few podcast episodes.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy, but it's worth it still.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's tough, and sometimes you're like, man, I could be doing other things and have a 9 to 5 and be done at 5 and not even have to worry. Or when I go on vacation, I don't have to worry. No, that's something as a business owner you got to worry about 24/7. It's a 24/7. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You got to have a lifestyle. If it's not a lifestyle, don't do it.
Yep.
It won't be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, just to give you guys an idea, my business partner's out sick with COVID, so he's been out for like 3 or 4 days. I was up till 11 o'clock last night because we had client stuff that was sitting on the back burner, and I said, okay, like, it's either me or I sit and wait for him to get better, and that's not going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, man. It has to be a lifestyle. It's just something that you own it. It's your baby, and it's a new member of the family, really, when you have it.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that.
But, well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that, just like you said in the beginning, this has been educational. There was no hope that it was going to be educational. This has been educational. So
good.
Thanks for sitting down with me, Cash. I hope that you guys were able to take some stuff, apply it into your businesses. But this has been another episode of Spotlight Southern Utah. We'll see you guys next week.